Hello dear students, so now today we would move ahead again in this first chapter of class 9 science, that is matter in our surroundings. So here today we are going to discuss the characteristics of the particles, about which we have already read in the previous lecture about the particles. So now today we are going to study the characteristics of the particle. What kind of characteristics are there in the particle? So the first one is particles of a matter have space between them. Particles of a matter, let's say this is the matter, so it is made up of the small particles. So these small particles have space between them. You can see the space between them, the particles there. How would you prove this? Let's say we have a glass of water. We have a glass of water. Okay, here you have the particles of water. So particles of water are also what? They are also separated by some distance. They also have some distance between them. Okay, so when you are mixing or adding a spoon of sugar here, so after some time you would see the particles or the sugar is not there. So sugar gets dissolved in this water. So where has this sugar gone then? Is there any change in the level of water? No, you would not find any change in the level of water. So where the sugar has gone? Right now suppose this is the level of the water. So water is up to here in this one glass. The water is up to here. Now when you are adding the sugar there, still the level is this. So where is the sugar now? So it implies what? It implies the particles of sugar. The sugar is also made up of the particles. So the particles of sugar are there adjusted in between of the particles of water. So here we would have the particles of sugar in between the particles of water. So like this. So here in between you would have the particles of sugar like this. So the particles of sugar would be adjusted between the particles of the water there. So that is why the level is not being changed there. Okay, so this shows that particles of a matter have space between them. Okay, how do you prove this? Let's say we are just taking a glass of water and we have a level of water there. Let's say the level of water is up to here. Now after adding the sugar there, still the level of water is this. So this proves that the particles of sugar have been adjusted in between the particles of the water. That is why the level is not being changed. So this proves that what? This proves that particles of a matter have space between them. Are you getting this? Very good. The next one characteristic of the particle is that particles of a matter are continuously moving. They are continuously moving. They are not stationary like this. So they are just continuously moving. How do you prove this? Let's say we just take a bucket of water. Likewise, we have taken this one example in the previous case also, before this one lecture. So let's take a bucket of water, full of water. Okay. Now what happens? You just add few drops of blue ink there. Few drop of blue ink there. Now after some time you would see that the whole water has become blue. How is this possible? You have added few drops of water. So rather the few drops of water should be there. But if you see, the whole water has become blue. How it is possible? It shows that the water particles are continuously moving. The water particles are continuously moving and the particles of the blue ink are getting mixed with all these water particles. So that is why the whole water has become blue. So this experiment proves that the particles are continuously moving. Continuously moving. Are you getting this? Suppose one more thing you can see. Let's say just you have a glass of water here. Okay. You have a glass of water. You have a glass of water. And just add a spoon of sugar here. And do not stir it. Just keep it here. Stationary. Okay. Do not stir it. Okay. So after 1 hour, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, let's say 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you would observe that sugar is not there. Let's say you are adding the sugar right now. Here the sugar would be here downside. This is the sugar. Okay. Now you do not stir it. Do not dissolve it with the help of rod. Just let it remain stationary. Now after 5 or 10 minutes you check it again. The sugar is absent there. So where has the sugar been? Where has the sugar gone? It implies what? The particles of water are continuously moving. Continuously moving. So that is how the sugar gets dissolved with the moving particles then. Okay. So this proves that the particles of a matter are continuously moving. Okay. Now let's move towards the next characteristic. And it is what? Particles of a matter attract each other. Let's say particles of a matter. Let's say we have water here. Let's say we have water here. So these are the particles of water. These are the particles of water. So these particles of water would be attracting each other. This one particle would be attracting this one towards itself, and this one particle would be attracting this one towards itself. So that is why all the particles are together there. Are you getting this? So particles of the matter are attracting each other. That is why we have the whole matter there. Let's say we are taking this one marker. So this marker is also made up of particles. Getting it or not? So the particles of this one marker are just attracting each other and holding together. So that is why we have this marker here. Had the particle not been attracting each other, so would the marker remain there then? No, the marker would not have been here then. Are you getting this? So the marker is here. It is still. Yesterday the marker which was the marker I was having, still it is. How it is this possible? Because the particle of the matter are attracting each other. So that is why this marker would remain as it is. So similarly the water would remain as it is, because the particles of water are attracting each other, so holding all together. So holding the particles of water are, so this marker are attracting each other, so holding this complete matter together, complete particles together. You would not find any change in this shape. Let's say today it is small, tomorrow it is bigger. No, you would not find this. So the particles of matter are attracting each other. Okay, so the particles of matter have force between them. What is there? They have force between them. They have force between them. With the force they are attracting each other. Okay, the strength of this force varies from one matter to another matter. Like in this case, the particles have more strength. The particles are attracting each other with more strength. But in case of water, the particles have lesser strength. That is why it is liquid. That is why it is solid. Here, in case of the solid, this one is solid now. So in case of the solids, the particle would be attracting each other with more force. Okay, so that is why the particles are very close here then. Getting it or not? So here the particles are not closer in case of the water. Okay, so the force of attraction between the particles is lesser than the solid. Are you getting this? So this force of attraction varies from matter to matter. So like in this one matter, we have more, with the force of attraction is more. Here in case of water, the force of attraction is lesser. In case of the gases also, it would again be very less. Are you getting it or not? So the particles of matter are attracting each other, and this force of attraction varies from one matter to another matter. Are you getting this? Hope you are getting this. So that is all for today. Now in the next lecture we would be discussing about the states of matter. As we are knowing, the particles have different characteristics. Okay, there is variation in the characteristics of the particles. So due to this, we would have three states of matter. Some matter you would find around yourself. Some are in the form of solid, some are in the form of liquid, some are in gaseous state. So we would have three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. That we would be reading in the next lecture. Till then, stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you. Have a good day.